Creativity requires discipline, a form of order, and it requires passion. Success is whatever has been set out at the beginning of the year to accomplish has been accomplished with certain key metrics.
Joining me today is Moriasi Omambia, the General Counsel and Business Manager behind Sauti Sol. He has helped navigate the complex intersection between art, business, contracts, leadership, and high-performing teams. I'm Juliet Gatteri, a HR consultant with over 15 years of experience, and I help organizations across industries build structure, manage performance, and navigate complex people dynamics. Talent without discipline, do you fire or do you hire? Hi, Moriasi.
Hey, how are you?
We're actually very excited to have this conversation.
No, excited too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we start, today I want you to you are the HR today. So I want to ask you a couple of quick fire questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Question 1, talent without discipline, do you fire or do you hire?
You mentor.
Okay. It's either hire or fire.
Higher.
Hire.
Yeah.
Loyalty without performance,
Fire.
creative genius but always misses deadlines.
Higher.
Hire. Okay. So let's start off. As the business manager for Sauti Sol, I'm keen to understand, apart from now the creative team, the engine behind Sauti Sol.
Yeah.
So what does the team, the businesses, and the structure look like?
Okay. So so the business is actually called the Sauti Sol Group Limited, and we have a number of businesses under it. Started in 2012, February 23rd, 2012 was registered the business. And what it looks like, it's a long story. So let me just start from the beginning, right?
Okay,
the first business to be registered was Sauti Sol Entertainment, which then birthed the other businesses that you see. So the intention of, we call them the guys, was for them to professionalize their business, which was the band Sauti Sol. And in that need or endeavor, we registered the business, started as a partnership, which was the four of them as equal partners. And the purpose of that vehicle, that was Sauti Sol Entertainment then, was to manage the brand and to manage the IP of the business. So it started there and kept on building, right? So as they saved to spend, which is one thing that's really important to them, is that they saved to spend. We took lessons from what they would see as they traveled and the mistakes that we made and started Soul Generation Records, which then mentored Ben Sol and Viri and built them up to where they are. For 5 years. And then shifted gears kidogo because we needed to build a small ecosystem around us. Because at that time, there was no ecosystem really to support what they were doing, right? And we decided that now we have the label, what else is required to build this ecosystem? And fortunately, we met a good friend of ours called Peng. A lot of you might know him from The Alchemist. And him and two of his friends had an idea to start a business called Hustle Sasa and asked us to be creative co-founders. And within the creative ecosystem, the one thing that you need is to always be in a position where you cut out the middleman, right? So Hustle is Shopify, of sorts for creators. And with that, with the e-shop front for creators, we were now in a position where we could take our goods straight to customer, right? And same year, late 2020, early 21, we always had the intention to build a performance platform for creatives, so for musicians. And late 21, we're fortunate enough to start Soulfest.
Yeah.
So now you can see the circle is forming, right? From management to label, now music management, to label is music and artist management, to then
The event.
technology.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Technology, so straight you to customer, direct to customer, and then the event.
Yeah.
And lastly, because we had managed the music for the last 14 years in terms of its publishing and distribution and done the admin for that, we started Soul Generation Publishing and Distribution, right? So now the circle is about to be closed. There's one more piece that we're hoping to take the next 5 years to really build out, which is going to be something we're calling the House of Soul, which we would like for it to be something very similar to where we're sitting today.
Okay.
But
a
on
creative space or?
Yes, but on a larger scale. The idea is to start with a space that has multiple rooms like this, studios, but on top of that has a 5,000-seater capacity space. So then we'd have fully closed the loop.
The whole circle.
So that's the structure that they have built
so
over the last.
in the circle, are you now the head of the circle? And are there heads for each aspect of each dot in each circle?
Yeah, they are. On the label side, there's William Nanjero.
Yeah.
And on the publishing distribution side, there's Crispin Obala. On the Soulfest side, there's Zahida Suleiman and Kavutha. And then on the Hustle side, there's Peng and his team. And on the House of Soul side, it's a combined effort between all of us. Yeah, so that's how it runs. And then there's a board.
Yeah.
And on the board, it's the 4 guys who sit on the board, myself and our chairman.
Okay.
Yes.
So the heads of each dot in each circle, are they under a full-time? Are they full-time employees or full-time employees?
Yes.
So how do you measure? Do they have teams under them?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And how does that structure look like? Because we are talking about HR, so it's quite interesting to just get to know about how the entire team looks like.
So on their side, because they're individual limited liability companies, they hire.
Okay.
Right? So Nigeria has his team, and Crispin has his team. On the Soulfest team, actually no, the Soulfest team is more consulting. So there's a consortium built around it.
Yeah.
And they have their individual teams as parts of the consortium. And then Hustle just, it's a business entity on its own. It runs. They have Peng as the CEO and everyone else within that team.
Okay.
But on the Hustle side, it's more full-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does success look like in the whole ecosystem? As you as the head, how does success look like?
I'm not the head per se. I'm like a leader without a title.
Yeah.
My main role is I'm general counsel.
Yeah.
I started as just legal. Success is whatever has been set out at the beginning of the year to accomplish has been accomplished with certain key metrics, right? So we have 4 main ones. That's discipline, order, passion, and excellence. So there has to be some form of that in how you're going to execute what you're doing, at least for this year, for your 1-year plan.
Yeah.
So all the businesses have a yearly plan, and then we build out from those yearly plans, right? So Soulfest starts beginning of the year. By December, what are the key metrics? Like the best example I can give for now is Soulfest. And last year we set out to have the high safety standard, number 1. Number 2, a fantastic musical experience.
Yeah.
And number 3, an experience where we would have the fewest complaints that we've had over the last 5 years. And that did happen. So that was success on the Soulfest side. On the Soul Generation side, it was a continuation of what we've been doing with our artist upskilling program or creative upskilling program, which is Press Play.
Yeah.
And can we execute year 2 better than we did year 1, right? And we believe from the reports and the feedback that we've gotten from our partners, it was executed better. So those are the things that we see where success is. Did we do it better? Did we do it bigger? And such. And on the Hustle side, how did we improve the technology, right? How did that team improve the technology? How did they improve value adds? And that did happen as well. So that's how we measure it.
Okay.
Given the KPIs, what you've mentioned, how do you? I think that's the main topic. So how do you make sure there's still creativity, because creativity is the biggest thing in the ecosystem? How do you ensure there's still creativity without losing the art or losing the magic?
Okay. It's through our 4 key pillars.
Yeah.
Creativity requires discipline, right? It requires a form of order. It requires passion. So where you don't lose your creativity is when the passion comes in, right? So passion and excellence, the last 2 bits of it is where we don't lose the creativity. Where you master your creativity is through the discipline and order. And I can take an example of, let's say, podcasting, right? To give an example of maybe a global podcast icon, although sometimes he causes controversy, Joe Rogan. He's been at this for how long? And it's every day. So there has to be an element of discipline. There has to be an element of order. That order sometimes doesn't have to come from the creative. It has to come from the creative's team, right? And how do you create order? The lessons that we've learned over the years is that you don't push the creative to make very many decisions continuously or consistently, right? You ask them within a structured period to make certain decisions. When is the beginning of your working year? Have a plan. Listen to what they would like their plan to be. Then try and build a plan around what their plan is, and then ask them to make decisions according to the 2 plans that you've put together, right? And then execute, right?
Yeah.
And then have milestones at which they can make decisions on execution or make corrections on how the past execution has been over that period, which you're making the 2nd or 3rd or 4th decision, and then you move from there. So there needs to be some form of order, so that you can allow them big pockets of creativity and allow them the time to just do what they need to do to make sure that you have the ammunition to be able to execute the big dream.
So they're not tied to the small things, then the small decisions. So 80% of their work is to create.
And that's what kills creativity.
Okay. And what was the tipping point for you to join officially the Sauti Sol group and now build and create structures and the team? What was the tipping point?
What do you mean by tipping point?
When did you decide? Because it's always fun in games, you go, the team goes and creates their music. But when did they decide the tipping point? This is now serious. We need to take it seriously. Moriasi needs to come and build structures and build a team.
It was right at the beginning.
Or from the start?
It was right after Mwanzo.
Wow.
So this was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been with Sauti Sol from the beginning?
Yes. I'd say not the formation.
Yeah.
But when they wanted to formalize.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then there's this stereotype. I work in HR and I work with different organizations. There's this stereotype, because you've mentioned discipline a lot. Creatives are not quite as disciplined. I've asked one question in terms of missing deadlines. So there's that stereotype. And I don't know whether in your line of work, apart from now, the four main leaders in the group, the team members behind that, I'm sure there's more creatives as well. Do you struggle in ensuring there's discipline? Just the biggest stereotypes about creatives. They miss deadlines. You cannot compare a creative with an accountant. So you tell an accountant to come here at 9, they'll be here at 8:30. So
which accountants are
or a HR
I think HR are the most disciplinary organization. But I think like all human beings, discipline is learned.
Okay. I personally struggle with creatives because of that. Like graphic designers, if I ever get an engagement where a creative is involved, I usually take 2 steps back to analyze whether it's an environment where I would thrive.
I believe there is
a
form of discipline. It's the environment in which you foster that discipline to thrive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And in many situations, when you're engaging creatives or engaging people in the creative economy, it is letting them know from the beginning and giving them examples
Yeah.
of what discipline ends up being, right? It's very important for them to see it and then to realize, yes, this is a space where I'm allowed the freedom of not having to go to an office. However, I should treat my talent and skill like a 9 to 5, right? And that's one thing that I feel our directors got right very early and allowed them to grow, and they were very dogged about it. However, there are times when creators do have burnout, because in how I feel about it, their minds are running 10,000 times faster than us, because they're taking ideas and making them reality, right? It's not nothing against accountants or lawyers. There is a formula to what we do, right? Or
Yeah.
people in HR, there's a formula to what we do. A lot of the times, there is no formula to writing a song or creating a piece of art when you talk about graphic designers. And then you or me, we have an imagination of what we want. And then we're expecting this person to build it just because they're good at what they do, but we don't understand what their creative process is, right? So in building that kind of environment, it's letting them know that success comes from a certain level of discipline.
Yeah.
And one thing I make reference to is there's some interviews where you'll find someone like 50 Cent talking, people who have recorded with someone like Eminem, and they say he's in the studio at 9, by 5 he's out. Because he knows
That's
my
my
talent is a
create-
9 to
yeah,
5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So between 9 and 5, I'm supposed to be extremely
Creative.
focused.
Yeah.
And discipline is focus, right? So it's something that I have a challenge with. We've had challenges with, but you learn it. Like I think discipline is a skill that you learn consistently, right? Yeah, we have to foster the environments and let them know and show them that discipline does lead to a lot of success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of identifying talent, especially the people who head the whole ecosystem, how were you able to? Because you've mentioned a couple of names they've been very active in the corporate sector. So how are you able to tap into that talent? And is it difficult or is it easy to get talent from corporate compared to people who are in this creative industry?
I think the challenge with getting corporate talent is the cost,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
How we were able to get someone like Zaida and Kavutha is we were very focused on what we wanted to achieve, number one. Our vision was bigger than us, secondly. And they had seen the effort in trying to make things work, even at the cost of losing money, right? There's that element of excellence that we wanted to achieve that inspired them to also be part of the team and try and help us build this thing that can be bigger than anything that we can ever envision, right? So I think it's very important that when a creative or someone, a creative who wants to build a business, they should be very, very clear about what their vision is. And their vision should be awe-inspiring to the point where anyone who wants to work with you is willing to sacrifice a piece of themselves to help build this bigger picture. I quit my job to work with Sauti. And not because I couldn't see the future, but I felt the passion that they had and the vision that they had for themselves and for this industry. And I said, this is, I want to try and do this. And if it works, it'll work. If it doesn't work, we try it and we move, right? So for me, it was, they didn't have much to pay me, but what they did have was a zeal and a vision that I tapped into. And a lot of the people who join our teams feel the same, right? So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
So they sold the vision.
Yes.
They sold the vision.
And they make it come alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how big is the whole team? Apart from just the heads, how big is the
We're
entire
now
team?
15.
Okay.
Internally, 10.
10.
Plus the few consultants that we have in and out, 15. When it's Solfest time, 250.
Wow.
Yeah, including everybody else's teams.
Okay.
Yeah, within the consortium.
Okay. I just want to put my HR brain here. So who manages you've mentioned discipline a lot. Is there, I don't want to say, maybe enforcer is a strong word. In terms
chief
of,
whip.
yes, something like, is there a HR who manages the whole entire, like contracts, disciplinary issues? Is there somebody who does that?
Contracts, well, I have a small team.
Yeah.
When it comes to the legal side, we manage the contracts, and I try and get the lawyers involved in keeping everybody in check, right? That's how we do it now. We're still trying to make enough to build that whole corporate structure, but it starts on the legal side. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing, probably I'm very curious about, is there maybe the biggest people mistake that you've done since 2020 when you started building the Sauti Sol group? Is there a people mistake that you did and you're like, I learned something from that? Maybe it's a hiring decision. You hired a friend.
I don't know. The mistakes or lessons.
Okay.
I think the lesson that we learned was after COVID, tried to scale again too fast. So we had too many people too fast. Yeah.
Okay.
That I think that hurt us a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of the biggest success in terms of people, not the negative side, but the positive side, is there any success that you feel like we did a good job here?
Yeah, there are a couple.
Yeah.
I think our partnership with ADMI in getting young creatives on ended up building some very interesting careers. And just before the ADMI partnership, our internship program ended up, being super successful. Rodney Washira, who came as an intern, content videographer, now runs his own, video production team called Roadman Shot It. And he shot some of our best videos. Niombe, Pombe Sigara, very proud of him. Adam Yusuf, photographer, came under the ADMI program. He's now, pretty independent, working on his own. Barbara, Konya, graphics, quiet, but just really good at what she does. So like Ben Sol's artwork, Viri's artwork, she did a great job. Now running her own outfit. Recently, Leon, we got him in September of, not last year, the year after. He's now traveling the world with BN, seeing the world after being with us for a year. And he's seeing the world, he's seeing Europe, recently in LA for the NBA All-Stars. So I feel that's a big success. So I think just being able to be a pipeline for young creatives to come and see what's happening, and also just giving them the opportunity to thrive, and saying, hey, you want to do bigger, please go for it, and we'll support. Right. So I think those are the successes.
So let's say somebody who's just starting their own creative outfit. It can be a musician, a podcaster, an influencer. What's that one thing you feel in terms of building their team they should ensure they have in place?
People who are independent thinkers, someone who can listen to your vision and constantly bombard you with ideas. Yeah. Who can consistently tell you, I think this is what we should do, and this is how I've seen X example and Y example. Send you concept notes for how you can improve yourself or how you can improve your creative career, market your music better, market your movie better, your series, or how we can do better content. I think those are the kinds of people that you should really look out for. Someone who's consistently thinking about what they should do and what you should do, and always having a back and forth with you. Also think someone who's not afraid to tell you as
Not a
it
yes
is.
person.
Yeah. And be right there and say, hii vile tunaenda sioni kama itawak. And someone who's also tapped in. By tapped in, I mean someone who's not just at home. Or because we're in a business that's consistently evolving and ever changing. How can you have a creative director who's just after work? I understand during the week, but there's some days during the week, someone who's interested in discovery, right? I want to see what different people are doing, see different spaces. How's fashion moving? How's music moving? How's art moving? So those kinds of things. Yeah, I think those are the key ones.
Okay. But I would attribute Sauti Sol's wanting to build structure, even making sure you are in the team, the exposure and their background as well. Because there are so many musicians who started at the same time as Sauti Sol, but now they drifted off. So what are some of those mistakes some of the creatives or musicians make? Even if I'm not exposed, what are some of those mistakes you've seen people doing when they're building their art?
I can talk to our mistakes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because those are lived experiences, right? So I think some of the mistakes is sometimes making emotional decisions, right? I'll give you an example. Over the years, so there's so many music videos that have been shot that are in hard drives. You watch the first cut, watch the second cut, in my eye, in the eye of those around us who are not creative, who don't have what the vision looked like. It's fantastic. In their eye, there's certain things that are missing that they don't like at all. And they say, shelve it, right? You've lost money, right? And then what? Because I'm an average consumer, but if I watch the video, I would watch it again and again and again and again, but they don't want to see it at all. They don't want to see it anywhere. It's not worth putting out there, right? That's an emotional decision. It's a business decision, right? And at the time, that's what happens. But now there's a strategy around how do we release unreleased Sauti Sol videos, right? Because now there's a realization that, okay, it was not that bad. And now we see what you were saying, or we see what the director was saying, or maybe we just made an emotional decision, but let's put it out there. So that's one. Two is not taking risks when the opportunity presents itself, right? So there's sometimes a really good opportunity has presented itself, but there was a feeling that we're not good enough for the opportunity, or this opportunity should be paying us a lot more. So let's just leave it, right? So there's that as well. Third is thinking that we have to do everything on our own, right? A lot of artists a lot of creatives want to be independent. Sasa nikiwaka na mse, they might take our idea and run, right? And I think I was a victim of that as well, simply because I was always very protectionist of, always want to protect
And somebody
our
else can do
intellectual
better.
property,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we had gone through that cycle of you pitch an idea and you're hoping this person, because they have the resources, would help you do it. Then they go and try and do it, then it doesn't work. Or understand this idea was hedged on the brand Sauti Sol, or Soul, that Soul brand. Then we realized that we were pitching for help, not pitching for partnerships, right? And so we changed the model. And, so Soulfest is, I feel, an example of what pitching for partnerships can do. So it's a number of people who have come together to make it work. So that was another lesson. Which other one? Networking and building relationships. I think it's very important. There are places where you can act like a star, and there are spaces where you should be part of the room, right? And I think that's something they perfected very early, right? So the relationships that they've built over the years, over these 15 years, or is it 14 years, have been a blessing. Every year, there's a relationship that comes back to bless this community, our community. And I think it's such a fantastic lesson for any creative, that there are rooms where when you walk in and you read the room, and if you read the room, there are people who can be your friends, allies, people you keep at an arm's length but still have conversations with. The idea is just always be a decent human being when you're in spaces, and that decency will come back to you, right? So I think, those are the 4 main ones.
Lessons. Okay. As we close, I have some other quick fire questions.
Okay.
Same fire or higher. Friends in business, hire or fire?
Can I qualify it?
Sure.
If your friends are aligned to what you're doing,
Yeah.
and if they have the same values as you.
Okay.
Because a lot of our successes in partnerships have come from friends. As our friend called Kachero, fantastic. He's helped in very many situations, and we've done business together. Kamau, who does our bars at Soulfest. Zahida was a friend before we became business partners. I was Bien's friend. We used to play basketball on the dusty courts of Rongai together as teenagers.
Yeah.
Here we are. If they share your values,
You
yes.
hire.
Yeah, you
If
hire.
they share your values.
They'll be loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. High performer but toxic.
Fire.
Creative genius but refuses contracts.
At a sign too.
So if they refuse, we
If they
still hire.
refuse?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'll find a way of making sure that we have some form of formalized agreement.
Okay.
It won't be signed, but it's sent on email.
Okay.
And if you acknowledge the email, it's an agreement, right?
Okay. So as we conclude, what's your parting shot to that creative person out there trying to push their brand? Say, for example, Juliet Musani comes out, now I want to be as big as Sauti Sol. So that's what one thing would you advise somebody who's building their brand?
It won't be one thing.
Yeah.
It's a combination of things. So number one, internalize your mission. Your vision and your mission should be internalized. And you live every day through that, right? That's one. Two, if someone is better at you than doing something, let them do it, right? I think one of the really good examples is Rihanna. Does she write her own songs? Some say yes, some say no. There are those who've written fantastic hits for her. Can she sing them better than the person who's written them? Yes. Does she represent that music better? Yes. Everybody wins, right? So that if someone is better at you than doing something, let them do it. Then fourth, just be dope. That discipline, order, passionate, and excellent, right? Have some form of all four. If passion is the big one, have some form of order, have some form of discipline, have some form of excellence. If the passion is the biggest, and then build out the rest as you go. And the last thing, this creative journey is a marathon, right? It really is a marathon. There's this band, Ozzy Osbourne's band. What's it called? Does anyone remember? Ozzy Osbourne. You guys know Ozzy Osbourne. You know, he played his last show. He was seated. He was in a chair. It was a full stadium, right? AC/DC are back on tour. The Who are about to get back on tour. So a creative journey is for as long as you can live, or as long as
you continue
you
to
live.
build your craft, you continue
building.
Yeah.
The hits will come if you're disciplined. The recognition will come. It will come. But when it does come, how do you keep it up? Then that's the discipline part, right? And the order part. Because you've mastered your passion and you've mastered your excellence. You've done your 10,000 hours. So how do you keep it up? So people should understand it is a journey. It's a long journey, but enjoy the journey as you go. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Moriasi. I think one biggest takeaway is for me is discipline, and also working with creatives. Probably better communicate as a HR. Better communicate to them in terms of what's the intention and what we are trying to do.
Is it intention or vision? You know,
Yeah.
creatives have to be inspired.
Yes.
Like now, you're a creative.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You've created
Yes.
a piece of art.
Yes.
And my question is, what's the inspiration behind it?
I'm very passionate about people, and I work a lot with small, medium businesses. And for me, building something from scratch, because most of the businesses are built them from scratch in terms of people, getting the right people. So for me, I'm very passionate in building, and that's why I want to talk to other builders to just give that advice to other people who are also trying to build. Yes. So
And
that's
in that, so I'll give you an example. So whenever a creative comes into the team, I have a conversation with them about where this whole thing is going and why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's really important. And for you, really the idea here is, and for anyone who is scared of working with creatives or says, oh, there's a lack of discipline. When someone is inspired to do something, they will find those pockets of discipline. And now it's up to the person who has them to now continuously mentor those pockets of discipline, right?
But you can't inspire daily. Like I'll sit with you, let's say the first month or we're beginning the year, I'll tell you this is our vision, this is what we want to do. So you're inspired. Then after a few months, or the next day, do I continuously need to inspire you? That's the biggest challenge I have with creatives.
You must inspire, you must keep challenging. You must keep trying to be different so you can grow even them. I think one of the best examples is Steve Jobs. He was the biggest thinker in the room, and got people around him, like his leadership team, who are also big thinkers,
Yeah.
really good designers. And he kept on challenging them and kept on coming with new ideas. And those are the points of inspiration.
Yeah.
If you're in the creative space, you must be inspiration for people is every day. Because remember, you're the vision bearer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's your mind that must go into their minds for them to be able to be something different, right? So if you have a team of creatives, but you're sticking them in a corporate office. However, if you have a team of creatives, but you have them in a space that works, and if you look at the Google offices, the Apple offices, the Facebook offices, those all creatives, like they're developers, they're creatives, they
Yeah.
must be thinking of new solutions for things that are happening now in the world. None of those offices are typical creative, like they're typical corporate offices.
So-
Yes, they have a corporate structure, but how you treat them, and you must be consistently inspirational.
So it's inspirational, provide the right environment, provide something conducive for them
Exactly.
to produce.
Think about it like, these MRM scammers, the big ones, GNLD,
Yes. Yeah.
forever. Why
Yeah.
do you think their CEOs are like that? Because you have to
to
keep those
inspiring
people
every day.
inspired.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone, all these guys.
Yeah.
You must.
Okay.
And when you're in a room, how are you? When you're in a room, how are you having these consistent and constant conversations with your? And right now, the best creators, the best creative teams you can hire are Gen Z. Right?
Yeah.
So you're keeping them inspired every day, considering they have so much that's stimulating them.
Yeah.
If it's not like Juicy, I joined TikTok at the beginning of the year, and I realized why it's called doom scrolling. Because on Saturdays when I dedicate myself to like, hey, what's happened this week in the world of Gen Z. So, because a lot of our businesses, our biggest customer base is 18 to 25. And I'll start at 7, 3 in the morning. I'm still on TikTok. And that's just Kenyan TikTok. I haven't gone to, there's so much. But how are you keeping them on target for what you're doing?
Yeah.
And keeping them inspired and happy. Not happy in the sense of, but inspired and focused to do what they need to do, because when it's out there, they feel a sense of fulfillment.
But I feel we are talking big things. Google and Steve Jobs. There's a business owner or a department head somewhere who's heading, let's say, 10 creatives, and they don't have capacity to continuously inspire every day. Like, I need the work done. I can't inspire you on a daily basis. I've provided you with the tools and everything. And that's why I'm very keen on these conversations on how we want creatives, because that's even how the world is going now, the world of business. And how do I need output. So I can't continue. I've provided everything, but I cannot continuously inspire you on a daily basis.
That it is a challenge.
Yeah.
But you also have to put yourself in the space of where are we now in our current market, and who are we hiring? They need it. So are you going to say, okay, I've given you the tools, then you'll be running through a cycle. So as a leader, what's the purpose of a leader? To lead, to mentor, to give tools. Yes, it's to give tools, but to lead, to mentor, to be inspirational, and then to teach them how to fish, right? If you just give someone a fishing pole and they wekelea, they'll catch one day, they say they don't catch. Of teach them how to fish and consistently teach them how to fish. But if you learn new techniques of fishing and come back and teach them those new techniques, they'll be excited about it.
Okay.
I think sometimes and just seeing how some people relate and trying to understand how some teams have become extremely good at what they do and then efficient. I've always noticed that their leaders are leading by example in being the most creative, it might not be in terms of graphics and stuff, but being the most creative, but also being the person who is always in their faces. What's going on? How you doing this? Nah, I don't like this. I don't want to try this. That's how I've seen. Like I've seen, how some agencies work globally. I've met some very interesting leaders, and you can see that's who they are. I guess it's how we look at it, and it's also how we there's no leadership without I don't think
Inspiring.
there is.
True.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah. So we always have to be inspiring and
Inspiring.
caring.
Okay.
A caring leader gets a lot of results. You're tough,
Yeah.
but you care.
I think I'm going to get a lot of backlash if we push this thing of caring and inspiring. Again, there's a founder, there's a business owner. I have to go and look for customers. I still need to inspire you. I still need to look for money for your salaries. So I don't know whether there's a balance there to inspire and care and still focus on the business side. And it's a one-man show sometimes, like one person doing everything, and they have a team as well they need to take care of. Yeah.
It's been done.
Yeah.
But you see, in terms of mentoring and doing that, by the time your team has found its flow, you'll be fine. Then you have to stop thinking about them. But the initial is going to be a bit difficult. But you've made the decision to start the business.
Okay. So you take the responsibility of inspiring and caring.
You take the responsibility. Unless you have the money to hire the best of the best, like guys who
now do that job of caring and
wanajijua, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to hire younger creatives, you'll have to build, or you have the time to find the right ones, or you have the time to cycle through and through and through, which we've done. We've cycled.
Yeah.
But then we realized, a team is only as good as its leader, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, that was it was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
I think I've taken two things, to inspire and to care. I think I'm always talking from the HR perspective, and that's why we're having these conversations, to just learn from other people how they're doing it. Thank you very much.
Asante.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Alternate Doors, your HR business partner.